Alrighty. This is just a quick update right now. As you know, last week, for those who watched last week, I did a video talking about what I'm going to do to this thing here. My Sterling by Music Man Stingray short scale. All maple neck and fingerboard, mahogany body, 6 bolts and everything. And I was going to convert it into basically a wall base or a clone wall. A clone wall like 8 coil pickups. I'm going to put one right here and the preamp, and then put a side jack and the battery jack back. As well as I have another idea I'm going to do later, and I will not say what I'm going to do to the finish because I changed my mind. I'm going to keep it the blue, but I'm going to put something else here. I'm not going to keep the pet guard because I want to pay tribute to a legend we lost. But the reason why there's not an update of new things going on in the sound clips I said last week, a few things I realized that happened was the XLR cord I had is shot, and I need to buy a new one. So I can only give you a sound demo from the crappy web mic at the moment before I use my pod system that's better. It's not perfect, but I know. You're going to have an expensive bass, or no, you're going to have really high quality this, but you cheap out on the record. Sorry. I mean, I'm going to work my way up there eventually, but bit by bit. But that's not the really bad problem. I wouldn't have had a problem with that too much. I could have gone and did stuff, but my travel is limited right now. I was dropping some coworkers off that live on the way home from after work, and it was after midnight. It's dark, and we didn't see it. No one saw it. It's dark. I hit a huge pothole, and it bent the front and the back rims of my left side, my driver's side, and the driver's side and the passenger side of my car, and pretty much somehow cut at least a little bit of my tire where the air doesn't want to stay. So I got one spare on there right now, and the other one's fine, but I lost the hubcap. So it's going to cost me like $500 or more to get new everything on those. On the bright side, I was told, because of the road and everything and how bad it was, I can get reimbursed after I pay from the city, or I think it's the city, from the DOT. And but that's going to take a while. So that's money out of my pocket at the moment. Also, I realized I also needed some copper shielding in the future for when I, take this one out. I want to put copper leaf here. Then when I install that, I want to put copper leaf here, and I'm going to copper leaf all of this, copper leaf the junk out of it. So that said, and other stuff going on with family and whatnot, and work. I worked about between 60 and 70 hours this week. We had someone quit. It put a stress on us. We had to come to work. Everybody had to come to work early. It's been a very, very bad week for me. So I'm exhausted. I did not plan on this happening. I wanted to be in the game, knocking it out, working on this, but sometimes life doesn't, throws you a curveball, but you have to learn to, to see it coming or get the next swing in for the next one and be ready for that. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is you're going to hear from this crappy mic what I'm using, and is this preamp. It's kind of like a clone of the bass fly rig by Tech 21, but this is a little different. This is the Velton Dapper bass, or is it bass Dapper? Dapper bass, yeah. I always get that confused. It's green. It's kind of like typo negative green. It's got a tune-up compressor, which you hold it down for a tuner, and the lights, when you turn them on like this, they light up. And that, and you can kind of see it. With that said, This has a gain and a compressor, so it's not only just a compressor, it's a boost. Also, it's a boost compressor. The tuner works pretty well. It's not the best thing in the world, but it's pretty good. The next one is the Dirty Q, which has a on-off for fuzz. It has a sensitive in volume. That's more along the lines of a electro-harmonics baseballs. So this is like a baseball's clone right here. The comp is kind of like, I don't know, just any other, two knob compressor, probably MXR or something. Then you go to the middle one, which is the bass preamp, which is pretty cool. It's got 3-band EQ, volume, and a gain knob. So this is like a Sans amp clone in a way, more like a version 2.0 minus all those other little extra bells and whistles. And finally, it has an octave, which you get 1 and 2 octaves, and the final one is a dry, wet, for getting the perfect clean. And then you get a coarse, and you just got the depth. Okay, I must have. Oh, okay, yeah, that was the switch over here. That's okay though. That's nothing. And it has an XLR output. It has an FX loop. And something called a through. Maybe you can run something else through it. I'm not sure, but this is a very heavy-duty, affordable pedal that I think is better than the Bass Fly Rig 1.0 because they would put the fuzz circuit with the octave. I don't like that. I like the fuzz circuit with the envelope pedal. Sounds much better. And I'll just give you a little demo. This is just pedals off. This is like the bass right here. And let me see if I can move this back a little bit. Can I move it back even more? No. But anyway, so, it's like. Sounds like a Stingray to me, full tone. You just turn off the tone and you got. That's no tone. And then also, this thing has a boost circuit, so you just push it and you get a volume boost anyways. And that's all tone, and then you got no tone. And that's with the boost, and that's I believe which one position. Okay, that was that one. That would be I think that's parallel mode. And then the next one is whoops. The next one's gonna be single coil, tone all the way up. It's gonna be like a single coil. There's like a fake coil in here, or give it that kind of sound. It has a nasally sound. My opinion is I find it useless for me. It's a little too thin. Then no tone. Engaging the boost full tone. And then you turn the tone off, full boost. And it sounds all right. It sounds pretty good that way with, no tone at all. It's very thumpy. It's got, a thumpy tone to it. It sounds great, Then going back to now, finally, the final position, I think that's the actual series, it's a series mode. That's an actual Music Man style. You get a better Music Man sound with the tone on full. Tone off. boosting this and keeping the tone on full and having it in series gives you more of that, Music Man sound. Sounds more like Flea and stuff. You turn the volume down, and you get the tone, It's a little dubbier. It's like. Also, should point out that I haven't cut my nails, so that's if you're hearing a little bit of click, that's coming from the sharpness of my fingernails. Unfortunately, I just didn't feel like doing it. And I'm relaxing with a good old American Yingling. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Legitimately, it's almost 6 now, my time. But regardless, that's basically all the functions of this. Now, if I just, let's say the tone's on full, keeping it Stingray sound mode, it's like. And then when you hit the boost. So yeah, it sounds pretty good with the boost. And you take the boost off to hear the preamp, it sounds. What I did was I cut the mids. I boosted the mids and I cut the bass and the treble. I have a little smiley, the frown instead. And I got the gain at pretty high. Now, if I cut the gain back to about, let's say, noon. Let's increase the volume a tad. Oh, wait, I got a pick here. What am I doing using my thumb? I'm doing it like this with my fingers. That sounds good with a pick. Sounds good with guitar. It's very punk rock. It sounds really great with a pick. It sounds good with any of it. Now, that was a preamp and stuff. Now it's off. Now, here's a dirty cue without the fuzz. Now, let's hit the fuzz circuit on. Turn the sensitive down a bit. You turn it up real high, you get a really interesting sound. That's a little bit too strong for me. It sounds better like that, but it's still fun. You can mix it with the octave, but let's hear the octave. Adding it with the filter. And that still has the fuzz circuit on. Let me add a little bit more sensitivity. Without the fuzz circuit. Let's adjust the octaves, maybe a little more of the octave 2, less of the octave 1. And that's pretty much the octave, the dirty, and that. Now, one thing left is the chorus. That's actually with the depth all the way down. Now let's turn it about halfway. I can't remember that part. I gotta relearn that song. This is a one little dun 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 dun, but still it's like. And dude, I love Tool. It's great. Tool, little riff, whatever. Sounds great with the chorus. I mean, jack it up more to like not max. Let's say about 3 o'clock position. See how wild it gets now. Got it. I got it. I remembered it now. So I figured I remembered it now. I forgot it, but then I remembered it. Anyways, that's the chorus. It actually sounds great at 3 o'clock. It actually gets that 46 and 2 kind of tone. And I'm not really sure. I didn't really get really involved with which bass Justin used on Enema, but he did use both a wall and a stingray. And it might have been a stingray on 46 and 2 and Stinkfist, or maybe Enema. I don't remember, but he used, it was almost 50-50. It was maybe it was more of a 40-60 or whatever, but he used a good bit of it. And that said, you know, that's that little pedal with this bass here, and it sounds really great. It sounds very great. Now all I have to do is hold down on the button, and now it's muted. I can take this thing apart. Now, I said I had an extra treat, and I do have an extra treat because, like, another bass player, YouTuber, Rodney McGee, was talking about getting a bass PV, I think it was a G or something. It's got a graphite neck, and he got it from bass pluckers out in Wilmington, North Carolina. And I told him straight up, and I've told other people, when I show people this bass here, I got this bass from bass pluckers as well. Unlike Rodney, I didn't, purchase it online, whatever. No, I don't live. I live. It's a few hours away, but I can go to Wilmington. I can go to bass pluckers. I've been there a few times. I've met Greg. Greg's an amazing dude. He's an awesome guy. And he has all his great basses, including other cool basses that he doesn't have for sale. It's his personal collection, which he showed me. He has quite a bit of those graphite necked. He loves graphite neck, by the way. But he has a lot of those graphite neck basses, Stingray ones. The old ones that are real graphite. But that's not this one. This is not a graphite Status Music Man or any Status at all, or Steinberger or Modulus. I've owned a Steinberger. In fact, I had the LX, what it was called, 2. It was the one with the maple body bolt-on passive pickups. I traded it with cash to get this bass. This here is and I mentioned that to Rodney on his channel for the view, and he said he'd like to see it or whatever. So this is kind of for him, even though I don't got good audio for it, and my camera sucks. It's a potato can, but whatever. This is the Bogart, and it's a Blackstone. I think it's I forget, it's like ST or whatever it is, SKC, I guess is what it's called. But it's all graphite neck. You can see the wove into it right there, even with a bad camera and annoying phone text alert trying to confuse me. It's got a phenolic fingerboard, which actually you can't tell, but in good pictures, it kind of looks like wood in like ebony-ish wood, like tiger stripe almost. But there's some scratches from wears for previous users are all around here around this register, where you can see where it scratched off that paint color a little bit, or finish. Also, by the way, even though it's not headless, you don't tune it from here. This just keeps it locked, because if you look on the back of it, holes go all the way through, and that's some roto sounds going through there, because most of his basses have those at bass pluckers. It's got a 0 fret. It's got this big metal, string tree-ish thing, whatever. Where what do you want to call it? Nut. It's metal. The body's made out of composite. It looks just plain black, and my camera won't pick it up. But there's like little white specks and dots on it. That gives it more of a spacey vibe. It has a whole push pot for volume, for passive to active. It's got a blend for the 2 Bartolini pickups that are in here. They're soap bar. I don't know if they're humbucker or what, but they sound great. And it's got this nice Knoll 3-band EQ preamp. The only thing about it that bothers me is I'm used to my EQ basses to have treble mid bass. This is reverse. Treble's at the bottom, bass is at the top, so I forget that a lot when playing this. But and also one more thing. If you've ever, for people who've played other graphite basses, and have never played a Bogart, there's a big difference between a Bogart neck and a Status, Steinberger, Berger, whatever, and a Modulus and other companies, mostly. Their necks feel like it's a black high gloss finish, like a painted neck, like a Rickenbacker would have, or whatever, This does not. I don't know what kind of alchemy they did, but it feels like I'm playing on a satin maple neck. I am not kidding. It also has 2 keys right here. I mean, 2 strap buttons at the bottom, so you can choose which one you want. And it is really cool. There's very little, damage that's happened to this bass over time. I've seen little things here and there that previous users probably did, but it's very little. Greg assured me it would be great to play with, and also it took me a while to get used to how Greg likes to set up his basses. He likes his extremely low. I was never used to it. I like mine around medium to a little low. Like the Stingray, it has a little nice gap to it. This one, not so much. So enough talking. Let's try it out. And that is flat, and the preamps are flat completely, and there's no special anything on that green Velton pedal at all. So it's like when you pull it, there's a little difference in volume. Okay, another notice I would have to say is you can tell there is a significant difference from playing this little bass that I paid less than $500 versus this bass here that how much did I pay for it? Okay, I think the original listing for this was closer to almost $2,000. I'd say maybe it was, I don't know, let's say somewhere between $1,700 and $2,000. I can't remember exactly, but I traded that Steinberger in and threw extra cash, and I'm going to say how much. But anyways, that's that. This is also Boutique, and it's also not made of wood, so you get a tighter sound, you get a drier sound, but it's clearer versus the mahogany body that's much warmer in the brightness of the maple neck combined with that on the Stingray. You get much more of a lot more lower bottom end, and that's passive too. This, like I said, had a passive switch but no tone control. So if you go with the neck pickup, yeah, it's I like it because you grab the pick, you can get more like a David Ellison. I can play it better. Right. I haven't played this riff in a while. Yeah, I haven't played Peace Cells in a while, but it does give you that kind of, David Ellison tone from Maida. It's got a lot of grind to it. It's got a nice bit of, taking just. Oh, by the way, since it's graphite, there is no truss rod in this bass because it's graphite. So if something happens with this neck, you're gonna have to take it to a specific kind of luther for him to press it back in place. I learned that because originally I didn't even come to get this bass, this specific bass. I was, going to trade in my Steinberger for a Status 5-string he had. It was a good one. It was the bolt-on with a maple body, or maybe it wasn't a maple body. It could have been a graphite body. It was bolt-on. It was 5-string. Had three knobs, so it was active, but it still was very simple. And I liked it, and I liked the way it looked. And, I was like, I want to own the Status, blah, blah, blah. Came in, he was like, that bass is being fixed because there was a problem with the neck, and I had to get it straight and blah, 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 and all that stuff. And I'm like, and I had played this the previous time I was there, and it was still there. No one had tried to buy it. Most of his stuff is in and out quick. So this was a sleeper. No one, it could have been there for even till now almost. Maybe Rodney would have probably ended up buying it. You never know. Could have been somebody else's. Could have been some other YouTubers or not even YouTuber, somebody else gigging this, but it didn't. And, ended up being mine. It's a great bass. I mean, like, let me kick on the preamp. Messed up there, but all right, but whatever. It does have I think some dirt got in there. I got to clean that out. Don't you love it when you have a bass for a long time? Yep. Yeah, it's the volume pot. Yeah, that happens. I live out at the beach. Regardless if you're gigging or not, take it out, to hang out with a friend and jam if you can or not in post-COVID. Well, no, actually I do, but still, I live out by there, and that happens to all the time with these instruments. I'm always rechecking them, and I have to do some maintenance on it. I've had this bass for over a year now, and I do not regret buying it. Not at all. This is the only 5-string I have. It's the best 5-string I have. I love it. But, all right. Man, it must be the selector too. But, I can fix that. It's not a problem. Besides, I was flirting with the idea of removing the preamp to try a different preamp and then put it back together if I didn't like it. And it's the dark glass tone capsule. I wanted to try it one day, so one day I'll switch this out for the dark glass just to see if I like it. But I kind of like this preamp. So, it's just... You just boost the bass all the way up to get... Then let's boost the highs all the way up. You can get the hiss now. Oof. Well, that's the thing when you boost the highs though. I don't really like treble that much. I like the code. It might be. Well, it died when I turned off the preamp. The preamp's probably getting overloaded. And the pedal with the preamp of this. But here's full mids. Interesting. Well, with it off, you can't hear it anymore. Like if I go back and definitely hearing something. There may be something going on there, but it's not the bass itself. If it's just the pots are a little scratchy or whatever. Like I said, live out by the ocean. No matter how much you can keep this enclosed and stuff, that salt air is going to come in through the cracks and everything and get in each and every little thing. You got to clean it up. Even if it's sitting in the bag or sitting on a stand. Yeah, I try not to leave them sitting in the stand for long because then they get dusty. And I don't like putting them in a bag, but I like keeping them in the bag or in a case so they don't get too dirty. Because I don't. But anyways, talking too much is whatever. So let's just go to the bridge pickup so you can hear how the bridge pickup sounds. Because I tried a little bit of the neck and mostly together. So. What I like about it is if you keep it on the bridge mostly and you boost, let's say, the bass and the mids, I'd go full mids, cut back the treble some. No hum now. Let's see here. So it's gone. Let's see here. Oh yeah, there's dirt in this blend pot. Anyways. It's got a lot of thump to it, a lot of growl, a lot of it's very tame. It's not too aggressive, and it's not too weak either. Even though I had to boost the bass and stuff and cut the treble, you almost get like a thumb tone. It's like what's that? What was that? Berber ding. Something like that. That's the mud vein Berber ding thingy. But it does have that Warwick thumbish. And oh yeah, by the way, like I said, this is the Bogart, and it's made in Germany. So Warwicks are made in Germany. So it has some items that are similar. I've noticed like very to Warwick, but it's a graphite base. It's completely graphite. I got one guy watching the chat now, Dave, and he says you can take strings off and make gopher snares out of them. Okay, I didn't know that. Nah, the more you know. Star shoots over. But no, this is a great bass. I like it. Like I said, if I ever do mod it, I just take out all the electronics and put a new volume and a blend with it, and then put in a different preamp just to see, because if there's a big difference from like the dark glass one versus the null, and go back and forth if I like which one. But I love the pickups. The pickups sound great. It sounds great flat. Just go passive mode with both of them on. It sounds just great. It's a very punchy bass. Like I said, it's a Megadeth bass. You can get like a David Ellefson tone. It's very tight. It's very functional. Yeah, it's compressed and there's not as much bottom end, but I'm a part of the whole idea of I don't have enough. I can always add some from the amp itself for the lows, or like in this pedal board here. Even though it's got cutting, I've cut the bass a little bit and the treble more and boosted the mids. It doesn't matter. You can adjust things as you go. Some people like it just a Dawn Patrol. I don't know. I think it's like it's like no, I don't remember that one, but I know it's like. That's shitty P-Cells version, but I haven't looked at Megadeth in a while. I love them, but you can get that clear tone from that. And this, like I said, I did it earlier. It's like what is it? It's like. Kind of Holy Wars-ish. Again, I do need to. I need more time to work on fun bass lines again. But yeah, it's a fun bass. It doesn't have too much weight. Let me mute this for a second. Now comparing, the graphite one and it's got one extra string, and then this one It's all maple mahogany. They are about the same weight. I kind of find the Bogart maybe a little bit heavier, but still, it's got a good weight. Both of them have a good weight. That's the thing about when you get a bass guitar, you can short scale, but the mahogany I think really adds to the weight of it, and because the body itself on the Stingray, a regular one that's active and everything, is a little bigger because they didn't just shrink the body and everything's been pushed in with that short scale. Because some people, they keep the body the same and they put a shorter neck on it for guitar players, or vice versa. They have the same neck, but they put a tinier body on it where the bridge is pushed up more closer. So you still get the same, you still have the same neck. It's just with the bridge closer to the body. Let's say the bridge is like right here. So yeah, it's a shorter scale in that way. Just like what is it, the Fender Mustangs? I don't like those. I wish I could like them, but it's got the one tiny little D bass pickup. It's a weird looking body. I don't know. It was for guitar players kind of, and the only people I ever saw that would play it would be guys who, wanted a light guitar that was a guitar player just trying to play some bass, I guess. And I know it was a lot. I've always heard it being marketed towards women bass players because it's lightweight and stuff, and it would be easier if you're a tiny woman or a tiny guy. This would be great for your back and whatnot. That's true, but since this one has a mahogany body, it's got more weight to it, but it also has a nice warm tone. Versus this one that is heavy, but it's made out of composite, graphite, and phenolic fingerboard, whatever. It's got some weight to it, but it also isn't wood, so it has much more clear, crisp signal. And it's a great bass. Once I can get a new XLR cord, I'll try to plug into my system and try to get a more clear, sound. And I'll work on not this quick, bad demo of me just playing sloppy and be a little bit more professional. Trying to have some drum beats with it. I'm just trying to make a really quick, some kind of video. Instead of just skipping it, because I did the first one. I want to do another one. At least I'm keeping up to date of what I'm going to do and how this progresses. And I want to on my one day off while I'm still constantly doing other things and trying to make sure I get everything taken care of in between that time. Because I already see my schedule. I'm working like 11 hours a day every day for 6 days. So again, I'm going to have close to 70 again. And if something happens, if I have to come in even earlier, I'm definitely going to have a lot of stuff to do. It's life. That's a learning lesson for everybody. Hey, we're living in a we're still living in a weird new world here as things have changed. Some people are trying to work to survive while others are relying on their governments to ensure that they are safe, healthy, or they're something else. I don't know. But since I live in a vacation city, it's been completely hectic, nuts, insane. It kind of feels like it used to be, with tourism and stuff in the summer, but worse in other forms because everywhere is short staffed. People can't get to where they want to. Restaurants have anywhere from 1 to 3 hour wait. And it's hard when you're walking around or going places and you're hungry and you don't want to eat at McDonald's. You want to eat at Burger King. You're here vacationing, you want to eat and you want to have this interesting food. You go here and then you hear about all these places to go. There's Dave and Buster's here. People want to they want to go there. You gotta wait. You could probably play games, but getting food is going to be hard. They want to eat at Paul Dane. Not really. that's still a wait. You want to go eat, it's like, margarita bill. Hey, uh, Jimmy Buffett, cheeseburger and from hell. No, I mean there's places all over here, but still, it's just the fact you go here at the beach, up a little north, whatnot. It's just horrible for people to get food and places packed, and we're all working. We're all stressed out. People are either showing up or quitting, and we're all doing the best we can. And it's affecting my free time to do this, but I'm gonna just get back on that horse again. And I mean that's pretty much it. I've rambled on for over 46 minutes, but I should have to show you that Velton pedal. Um, I'll just cut this amp off. There we go. That way I don't have to worry about noise. But like I said, it's a really cool pedal. I forgot how much I paid for it. I got off of Reverb, and it was less than what you could pay for, the actual thing it's copying, the fly rig. And like I said, you turn all these lights on by hitting the button, and you can see the lights. You can't really see the actual marker line. You need something better for that, but that's okay. This is still pretty dang cool because you can say it a little bit, but when you're dark on the floor, if you're playing a gig, it could be hard to adjust. But I'm more of a set it forget it kind of guy, where if I was going to play in a band, I'd make sure it was exactly what I was going to use it for, and that's it. I mean, but besides that, it's actually very durable for something that was cheap and made, and well, not cheap, but I mean, not cheaply made, but it was made at an affordable price, and it was made in China too, which is a surprise to have something that good quality for something under $200 too. I think I paid like $179 or $159, but still, that is an amazing deal. You don't just get a preamp pedal like the Sans amp in it. You get a compression booster. You can probably jack the gain up and make that just a drive pedal. You can, you get an octave pedal in it with 2 octaves and a dry circuit. You got your 3-band EQ preamp with a gain for an amp. You got the dirty Q, which is an envelope with an on-off fuzz switch to drive it, and then of course, a simple 1 knob. It's very, very easy. Okay, Dave said Ron Popella, home rotisserie. Set it and forget it. I don't know him, but I'll take your word for it. But yeah, I've heard, I always hear other people say sit it, forget it and stuff. I mean, that's very rock and roll actually. And because like the very thing with like punk bands. Oh, and Dave's from PA, so there you go, Dave. Turn it around. Team red, white, blue. Drinking the pain away. Just kidding. Not in pain. Not emotionally. Not really. Aren't we all actually a little bit? But okay, now since it's on the 50-minute marker, I don't want to be here for another 10 minutes and get it for an hour. This is too long. I've made my explanation and all that stuff. I got to get back to cleaning up and making the house look nice, or as nice as I can make it. I mean, I hope you enjoyed seeing, 2 basses of mine. The one I'm working on to mod. Oh, okay, it's actually his hometown, so that's good. That's good to know, Dave. But yes, yeah, and the Indonesian made Sterling, the German made Bogart. 2 different types of basses, 2 different sounds. But with that said, they're pretty great. They're pretty awesome. Well, like I said, I'm modding this because I got the idea to mod a Stingray, in a way, partially from the Low End Lobster because he modded like, I don't know, 8 of them, 10 of them. And I'm still getting alerts. I forgot to mute that. I'm sorry. Anyways. Yeah, if you guys want good bass reviews, better guys that are better than me, that have better cameras, better audio, that play better than me, that know what they're talking about and other stuff, than some stupid redneck guy wearing a Black Sabbath t-shirt, hanging out on his couch with a really bad camera and such. You should check out Low End Lobster and Rodney McGee. Those guys are really great bass players. For anything bass or funky at a way. Lobster's your guy. Rodney is the perfect guy for metal bass. He does metal bass Mondays, metal bass whatever, and you guys should check those guys out. I mean, if you already know, and you probably do anyways, because they're a much bigger channel than me. And with that said, you guys have a great night, great day, great whatever. Have fun, be safe. Love you guys. Maybe next week I'll actually start have more work on the Ray to make it a Walray. That said, I'm Melter, and I'm out of here.